It's not a word on the wall. It's the fabric of what we're building. It's woven into who we are. And if you come to work here, that's it. That's what it's all about. It's not just helping the people in the community, but we are a community.
What's going on, everyone? We're back. We're back with another Off the Clock podcast, and we're here to have a company recap of our wonderful month of May. And we're here with our fearless leader, Christian Rattin, as we get into discussing how the company did in May and what we have to look forward to going into the busy summer months. I'm your host, Jared, from the marketing team, and let's get right into it. Christian, how are you?
I'm doing great, Jared. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
We were just talking about it's a little warm in the warehouse right now, which means summer is here.
Hopefully next time we do this, it'll be even hotter.
Yeah,
because It's only a little warm.
It's only a little warm. I'm not like extremely uncomfortable where we need fans. But so I wanted to just start off with a little icebreaker with you. And I know last time we spoke, we talked about just summer vacations and you were talking about how you had some vacations planned. But I want to know, Christian, I think the people want to know, what has been your favorite summer vacation in your life?
Oh, my whole life. I was, you sent me that question and I was thinking a lot about it because growing up, I didn't actually go on summer vacations because my dad is originally from Austria and he's the only one that left of his 5 brothers and sisters. So my whole family on that side is in Austria. So I would literally get out of school. Sometimes they'd take me out a little early and I would get shipped to Austria for 2 months.
Get shipped.
I did, literally. Like I would, from about age of 4, I would fly by myself to Europe, and then I would spend the entire summer with my family over there. But the trick to that is that my family also owns a hotel over there, so I didn't go over there and just kick it in the beach. Like I was up at 4 a.m. every day, serving the guests breakfast. I was prepping breakfast. I was literally waiting tables at 8 years old. And then so I didn't, growing up, I didn't actually have a lot of memories of summer vacations. Here recently, I've had the fortune to be able to have vacations with my family and my wife and our 4 daughters. I would say one that stands out was we rented a house near Charleston and South Carolina, and there was a big house with a pool. We were a block from the beach, and it was just one of those weeks where there was 13 of us, and it was just a really just chill, but tons of family time, a good time, good food, hanging out by the pool. Kids had a great time, so yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like the best vacations are the ones where you're not doing a lot. Because we do a lot.
Yeah. I'm not I don't like an agenda on vacation. I like a general sense as to what I'm going to do. But I'm not one of these people who's we're going to go on this hike and then do this and then do this. It's kind of more let the day. The one thing I'm planning on a vacation is the food.
The food.
I want to eat awesome food. And especially if we get near an ocean and can get some fresh seafood, then I'm all about it.
Right. Yeah, just speaking about seafood, is there a dish that kind of pops in your mind on that Charleston vacation where you're this is so good?
Well, so my favorite restaurant is Husk in Charleston. And so while I usually get the burger, I didn't get the burger that time. We actually had this incredible meal curated by the chef. And to the point where one of my daughters at that time was a vegetarian, and she still to this day says it was the best vegetarian meal she's ever had in her life.
Wow.
And I would say some of the standouts are probably crab cakes, and then shrimp and grits. I mean, you're in the low country, and Husk is actually in Nashville now too. So if you get a chance to be in Nashville, I would highly recommend it. It's one of the best restaurants in the country.
Okay. Once again, podcast not sponsored by Husk, but if you want to send us,
we've talked about it more than once.
But feel free to send us some burgers.
Yeah, I'll be there in 2.5 weeks because Amy's going down with the girls for the week. They're taking a week, and I'm gonna just meet them there for the weekend. So we are planning on eating.
Christian's literally traveling for a burger.
It's true. And then we're gonna do a ghost tour after.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm super pumped.
Fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Awesome.
What was your favorite family summer vacation?
This is gonna sound really sad. Coming from a family of divorced parents, we didn't really do a lot of summer vacations, but there was one year that my grandma and my grandpa took my brother and I to Canada. and we had like a Canadian like adventure that went completely wrong the entire time, and it was hilarious. And it started out with us renting a van. My grandma telling my grandpa, we should get insurance on this rental car.
Oh, no.
And my grandpa saying, let's save the money, nothing's going to happen. And then the second we go into Canada and we park in this parking garage, he just knocks the rear mirror off, backing out of a spot. And I'm like, oh, well, this is how it's going to start. We're here to recap as a company May, and let's just discuss what were some of the big wins and milestones that you're most proud of here at 5-Star.
Yeah, I was thinking about this because I think the last couple months as we've talked, I've focused when you've asked me these questions a little bit more on like numbers. You know, this month as I was reflecting back, well, it's also like I'm trying to figure out if some of this stuff happened in April, but you know, the days all just kind of like,
especially this time of the
like,
year.
I was thinking about, because I want to mention the Touch a Truck event that we did in Pickerington. I was like, was that in May? I don't even know, because that feels like it was a year ago. You know,
we move fast.
But some of the things I'm really excited about. Let's start on the outside. The Touch a Truck event was an incredible success. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody that showed up. There was a big group of us that went there and really set it up. I do want to specifically shout out Adam Elkins and Tim Grant. So Adam Elkins, I've never seen that guy more in his element than literally just talking to hundreds of people in a matter of a few hours. He signed up people. He literally booked jobs on that day. He was getting the most people registered. And when we were done, he came up to me and we talked about it. He was so fired up. I mean, that's his thing. Yeah. Like, he was so good at it. And then poor Tim Grant, he just happened to be standing next to our excavator, which was maybe the second most popular exhibit after the helicopter that literally flew in. And I looked over at one point and he was covered in sweat, as all he was doing was lifting children in and out of this excavator for like, and it was really hot that day.
It was very hot.
But it was a really good event. I was really proud of that event. And then the other thing that I was really reflecting on was Olivia came back from maternity leave. Thank God. My life is back to normal. So great to get her back. We added Shara to the marketing team as our new director of marketing. That already is just, I'm seeing such awesome synergies in the marketing team. And then we promoted Justin McClintock and Josh Anderson into some new roles on the HVAC service side here in the Columbus market. So super proud of Josh. He's been here for a long time, and it's a well-deserved role change for him. And then Justin McClintock really getting back into what we hired him for originally, which is to really kind of hone in on what is our go-to-market, or what is our in-home strategy look like every single time that's consistent across all the verticals. And then, you know, because I do want to shout out a couple of the numbers. I do want to just give a huge props to Mark McKinney and the entire HVAC service team in Dayton. They're actually the only department that beat their goal for the month. We were close in a lot of other places, but they're the one who got over it. And we had a big goal for the month and not a lot of help, right? Not a lot of weather assistance, and a month that is already tricky, and then you have Memorial Day, so that pulls a day away. A lot of distraction here in Columbus with the Memorial Tournament at the end of the month. So, you know, customers aren't always, and then when there's no demand, right, when there's nothing pushing them to make that call, they're always willing to just give it another couple weeks. And Mark and his team really overcame that, and I thought they did a great job.
Yeah, shout out to Mark as always. He runs a tight team.
He does an incredible job. I have seen so much growth in him since he's got here, and it's awesome to see. Yeah. What we're really trying to focus on, and I want our people to hear this, and I want our people to really believe in this, is like, what we need to be weather enhanced, not weather dependent. So the weather is great, but we need to be able to be consistent throughout. And so I'd say, you know, I can't say it enough. Like, the plumbing team has carried us for 5 straight months in a row. HVAC has had little spikes. And the great thing about HVAC in our HVAC service and sales and install departments is that when we get just a little bit of help, man, do they lock in? Yeah. Like, they are hyper focused. It's just that there isn't much they can do, and they try so hard. I know they do. But unfortunately, some of it is just relying upon getting a little bit of help from the weather. But the plumbing team has just been consistent. They've just been hyper consistent all year. They're showing up. They're asking the customers how we can help. And they're doing a great job of bringing in our partners, like plumbing, bringing in HVAC bringing in plumbing. So plumbing's really leading the way with that too.
Yeah, and I think to the point you just made, having another vertical help carry through some of those more difficult months at least gets us in the home,
right,
where they can lay up some of our HVAC department, for example, to help close another deal.
Absolutely. And then, we're seeing tremendous success with memberships. So in 2024, we compared to 2023, we tripled the number of memberships sold. We've already surpassed that in 2025.
Yeah.
So the focus on that, what that does for us is it brings us back into the home, right? And it gives that customer that feeling that we're there, we're that trusted partner. That's what we're trying to be, yep. Right? We're your local community partner. We're here. We live here with you. We're doing all the same stuff you are. And when you have an issue, you can count on us.
Yeah. And that membership symbolizes a partnership between us and the family, us and the home as well. So though they might not need us at this particular moment, they know, hey, 5 Star is still here for us when the HVAC system does break or need repair or whatever that issue is.
Yeah.
Great. So we've launched a new website. We have our new branding, and we're going all in on our new core values. And I just wanted to take a moment kind of to highlight one of our core values that really stands out to me, and that is generosity. So Christian, can you share a moment in May where we really demonstrated generosity, whether that be to our community, our customers, or even internally with our employees?
Yeah, I think that's where I do want to focus, actually, which is... Yeah. We had a few folks experiencing some real hardships in the month of May, and I'm not going to go into specifics, but there's some serious health things happening, some other areas of focus just for people, and not only from a leadership team perspective was there never a hesitation or a doubt that we were going to come alongside these folks and do what we needed to do to help them, but when we reached out to employees and explained situations and asked for help, not a hesitation. So from every level of the organization, we have an employee right now who's struggling with some family health stuff, and the possibility that we might actually need to foster some animals for them came up as something that we might be able to do.
Yeah.
And so I sent out a message to Olivia, and I said, Olivia, just put this out and just see what we get back. And we had in minutes, we had people just raising their hand. Hey, I'll help. What can I do? How can I help? Tell me what's the deal. And so that's just who we are, and it's awesome to see that it isn't just it's not a word on the wall. It's the fabric of what we're building. It's woven into who we are. And if you come to work here, which I hope this also reaches potential employees, like that's it. That's what it's all about. It's not just helping the people in the community, but we are a community, and it's helping each other. But when I get to go visit a family in the hospital, when I get to when other employees, like I'm going to give a huge shout out to Mike Wise. Mike Wise drove from Dayton to Columbus to visit 2 different employees at 2 different hospitals, pray with them, sit with them, give his time, right? The thing that we have the least of and is the most valuable, right? He gave his time. And I'm not going to share his testimony on that, but I will tell you he shared it with me, and it was powerful. But that's who we are, and that's what we're about. So,
yeah, it's you said it best. We're really an internal community, and just knowing that your employer's got your back, and as employees, we are very loyal to this company. But part of that is because it's reciprocated, and that feels really good.
You never know when you're going to be the person in need, and I've seen it from every level of the organization, and I'll just continue to encourage it. Like, closed mouths don't get fed. If you are dealing with a hardship, we are here and we will help, but we have to know what's going on. And I hate to see it when we have to wait until it's so bad that it's like really difficult to help, So I would just encourage any employee, like if you are here, I've said it multiple times, like I don't like the use of the word family in business because it is not the same thing.
Yeah.
But I will promise you this: if you're an employee here and you have a hardship, we will do everything we can to help. And that goes from everything from financial assistance to prayer assistance, all the way to where we've had other employees giving up PTO so that certain employees can have more time off to deal with whatever it is that they're dealing with. So, honestly, I'm seeing the faces in my mind as I'm thinking about all the conversations just in the last 6 months I've had where we've come alongside an employee and helped.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that, Christian. That's awesome. So, Christian, this is part of the podcast where we have to throw in some HR-related topics. And I know there was 2 points that you wanted to tackle within this podcast. So the first one is our new company employee referral program.
Yeah, so, unlike some of our competitors, we need to keep hiring because we're growing, not because we keep losing our employees. Our employees are staying. We need to find new employees to help us continue to grow and continue to do everything we just talked about around generosity. And so in an effort to do that, any employee who makes a referral to us and we decide to hire their referral will automatically get $500. And if that employee stays for 90 days, then the referring employee will get an additional $2,000. So an opportunity to earn $2,500.
Are you hearing this right now, folks?
Yeah.
You want to make $500? Bring some of your friends that are talented and bring them on to a great company.
Yeah, and I would even encourage you, like, if you don't see the posting for maybe what they do, if they are the kind of person who fits with our core values of relentlessness, passion, experts, and again, we need expertise across the organization. It's not just in the van, right? I mean, I'd love to get more experts in the van too, but we need marketing expertise, we need accounting expertise, and again, I think we're building something really cool, and so we'd love to talk to anybody, who aligns with what we're trying to build.
Yeah.
So $2,500.
$2,500. You heard it first. I don't really need to sell anything.
I don't think so.
That speaks for itself.
I don't want to sell it. I just want people to be like, yeah, our company's awesome.
Yeah.
People should come work here.
Great. And then our second HR point, and this is a service that I love, and it's another great benefit of working at 5-Star. It's our teledoc.
Yeah, teledoc is fantastic, and there's a lot of reasons to like it. So number one, I mean, we just talked about it, right? We're all busy. Yeah. Nobody has time, and I'm literally trying to make a doctor's appointment for like a general doctor, and they told me December was when they could get me in.
So like two seasons, like
what? Yeah. And so I've used teledoc, similar to what your experience that you shared, like had the flu-ish kind of thing going on. Knew I probably needed something better than just like, the over-the-counter like Tylenol, whatever. Yep. And so got on a call and they were able to send me in some antibiotics that helped kick it out.
Yeah, once again, teledoc. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Dana. So let's end the podcast just kind of forecasting June. And Christian, as a company, knowing that we are going into summer, and summer is now game time for our industry, especially in HVAC. What should our main focus be? And just to kind of make sure we're carrying on momentum for the summer, and any just kind of advice and words of encouragement.
Sure. I'd say a lot of people have heard me use this analogy, and I think it's catching on because the amount of Formula One fans we seem to be having in the building just keeps growing after every week. So we have some people every week. I always know who won the race because they put on their gear or whatever. McLaren apparently, causing a lot of strife between the bullpen and some of the offices over here. Right. And so we're about to put our car on the track. Yep. We're about to let it run, and we don't work on the car while it's on the track. I learned a lesson 2 summers ago where we tried to work on it in the summertime and it went horribly wrong. We had to unwind everything. It was a great lesson to learn. So at this point, it's not about change. It's not about new ideas on the HVAC side specifically. It's about execution. Yeah. And it's about doing the little things well. It's about doing the things that our competitors are unwilling to do and being available for our customer when they need us. Yeah. I've talked to a lot of employees recently about this. Our customers don't want to use their PTO on us. We just talked about doctors and how difficult it is to go see them. If we make it challenging for them, they're just going to find the next person to deal with. And not only do we not want them to do that because we want them to have our experience of becoming a 5-star fanatic, but also, like, I personally think that there is nobody else in this market who services the customers better than we do.
Yeah.
And so I want to give us the opportunity to service as many of those customers as possible. So on the HVAC side, I would say let's lock in on our execution. Let's do the little things, and let's push a little bit to be available when our competitors are unwilling to be available. On the plumbing and electrical side, I would say it's continuing to think about growth mode. It's continuing to think about how do we work on these departments as we're continuing to work in them. It's bringing structure and accountability to those departments. Not an accountability like we're watching what you do, but accountability and giving everybody a safe lane to work within so they know exactly what success looks like every single day. The HVAC teams have a pretty good understanding. Plumbing, I would say, is right there as well. Electrical, we still have some work to do, and that's okay. Yeah. Like we're never going to be perfect. We're never going to be the best at everything. So execution on the HVAC side and open-minded growth on the rest of the company.
That's great. Yeah, this is going to be a great summer. I have a good instinct for it, and I believe you as well that yeah, sky's the limit for 5-star. And as you can see, we have the right players on the team in the right roles and the right departments. And now it's all about the execution. We've done the work. We planned. We strategized. And now it's to show our community and our customers what 5-star is all about.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, Christian, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jared.
For hopping on the May recap. Everyone watching, we have a lineup of awesome podcast interviews coming up. Our next one is with the legend, Ryan Daly.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And if you want to hear more about Ryan, tune in to episode 11. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.